thing live? Austin, you there?
What? Are we live? Sorry, I think I was daydreaming a little bit. Thinking about the Packers and the NFC Championship game. Oh, wait! That's not a daydream, that's reality. That's facts.
Yeah, but aren't you kind of, hot in that jacket? I mean, it's like 80 in the store, isn't it?
I mean, shit, dude. I thought I had the nice throwback starter jacket on with the corduroy hat, but I guess that is a little pretentious. Let me take this off real quick. See what I got on underneath. I mean, what? Devontae Adams jersey. Where'd that come from?
Did you just get that for Christmas?
I mean, he did tear it up the other day. He had 2 TDs, all-time receiving record in the playoffs. But as a grown man, I only wear jerseys on game day. So I think I got like an undershirt on underneath or something. Let me just check this out. Whoa! Packers owner's shirt. What? I don't remember putting this thing on. I mean, I think you got to be an owner of your team, have a sharehold of the team to have this shirt. But anyways, I think I probably got like a wife beater on, something under this. It's a little warm, whatnot.
Oh, damn, baby.
Oh! Packers athletic Nike shirt. Oh my goodness, this is getting a lot out of control. All right, I'm a little more comfortable now, though. I think we're good to go. So, now we got that out of the way.
Are we good, Austin? Are we good?
I think we're good. Nice and flexible, good range of motion. Can see the chat. Organic peach tea. Okay, we're good. How's it going, T? Sorry about that.
Hey, baby, what's up? I'm a little upset. Let me tell you. And let me tell you why I'm a little upset.
What happened? Talk to me.
Because last week we made our picks, and I totally went against you guys, and I just got shit on. I got shit pumped.
The shit pumper got shit pumped. That's a pretty good analogy right there.
Yeah, I mean, last week divisional round games, obviously. I went 1-3. Hannah and Austin went 3-1. I mean, we obviously picked the opposite teams, but I think after last week I did a little bit of reflection, Austin, and I think I came to a conclusion.
What's that?
I think I'm retiring the shit pumping game of the week.
That early? I mean, it was only at, 4 or 5 weeks?
It's just, man, my shit pumping games, they just don't pan out. And I think I just need to hang up the cleats for the old shit pumping game of the week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, after I started off hot with the speak it into existence games, they kind of faded off a little bit. But you know what? You can only use up your special powers so much. So I think I might have tapped him out a little early on. So.
Hey, as long as you don't speak the Packers into existence this week, we should be fine. Maybe I'll shit pump them so they win.
Hey, you know what? I might have to call on you for that. A little extra luck. But I mean, I'm just kidding. They don't need luck. So.
Hey. You want to talk about the games though this past week? Some pretty big games, some pretty good ones, I should say.
Yeah, this past week. They had some good games. I mean, let's start off with that Texans game, right? The Chiefs.
That was insane.
That was nutty.
I picked the Texans, as you guys remember. I specifically remember just going against you and Hannah because you guys had to do the Step Brothers reference where you guys said the same thing at the same time. So I had to go against it, and I first quarter ended. I'm like 24-0. This game's in the bag. You boys got it. And then of course, Patty Mahomes comes out and balls out. And the Chiefs, how many points did they score unanswered? Was it like 41?
40-something, yeah. I mean, I think they scored 40-something unanswered, and then, overall went on a 51-7 run. I mean, that's just incredible. But to me, watching that, like, as a fan, I enjoy it because that's just, like, what the whole game of football is about. The Texans had some things going their way early on, maybe some lucky plays, some turnovers. But, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, they rallied those guys and, kept his head in this game. Wasn't worried about TikToks at all, what his brother's doing on the sideline. So, he came out and he got the job done. So, I mean, like I said, I've been preaching, I think the past few weeks, I thought the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. I mean, they do have a tough game this week against a really, really good defense. The Texans defense, though, they haven't been like they're good, but on paper they should be better, and they just haven't been showing out. And it's hard to watch sometimes, as a person that had rooted for the Texans last week. You know, you just see their defense just letting up play after play, touchdown after touchdown. You know, is it time to hey JJ, what are we doing here? Are you
Hey,
gonna keep
JJ.
getting injured every other week, or are you actually gonna disrupt the offense a little bit? I don't know. The Texans are they're that weird team that on paper they're one of the best teams in the league if you look at them talent wise, but they just can never get the job done.
Yeah. No, I mean,
What needs to change? You tell me, Austin. What needs to change?
they just like for me, like you can be a great team. You know, they didn't even have that stellar of a record all year, but there has to be some kind of it factor. You know, for a while, J.J. Watt, I think he was that it factor. You know, got him to some playoffs. You know, they didn't have a quarterback at the time, whereas if they had Deshaun Watson, I think J.J. Watt could have been that it factor that got him to that next level.
They have Matt Schaub.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do with a Schaub under center.
Whoa,
What?
that's my cousin.
Oh, well, I mean, not technically, but
I mean, my mom's maiden name is Schaub.
I get that. I'm not talking about that.
He's from Pittsburgh. My mom's from Pittsburgh. It's only a matter of making sense, you know.
Well, you know, you might need to send your spit to 23andMe or something to confirm that.
Actually, I do have it. It's funny that you say that. My mom's sending me one down right now.
Golly.
It's on the way.
Well, you tell me if you're related to that Schaub, then I'll just talk
I'm
shit
asking
to
for
you.
some money if I'm related to that guy.
I'll talk shit to you even more. But anyways, like I said, two things that I look at for teams to be successful in the playoffs. Talking a little loud. We got the roller derby in the background. But
The trash can roller derby.
experience and the it factor. You know, the reason I like the Chiefs, they have some guys who've been there before, some veterans, and then you got Patrick Mahomes with the it factor, right? Same thing, you know, with the Packers, obviously. Rodgers, been there before, seasoned guy, you know, has a Super Bowl ring under his belt, Lombardi Trophy, and to me, this year they have that it factor. You know, I look
with
at
their defense.
with the defense, exactly, yeah. I mean, they've been playing stellar. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, the quote-unquote Smith brothers, if you will. But not to get off topic from the other game, just kind of saying as a whole, I believe they have that it factor. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to think of like the teams around the league. Titans, they have the it factor with Derrick Henry, right? I don't think they really have
Right.
the experience, the playoff experience. You know, same thing with the 49ers. Garoppolo does his thing. You know, George Kittle, if you will, the defense. Bosa would probably be my it factor, but they don't really have that playoff experience. So you know. That's
So basically, what you're saying right now is you're just gassing yourself up by saying that the Packers are the team to beat right now because they have your Austin Cook's theory of winning the Super Bowl, the it factor and the experience, and it sounds like the only team that has that is the Packers right now.
Well, I'd say they're the front runners for that category, the aforementioned category that I just created. But hey, you know, it's proven to work well right now. But yeah, Packers.
Freud had his psychology. Austin has his psychology.
Yes.
AC Weezy's Super Bowl contending. What should we call it? AC Weezy's Super Bowl contending factor. You
Yeah.
have to have the it factor, and you have to have experience, and that is provided by Insane Games TV, the
Hey.
No Look podcast, #1 podcast on Twitch right now.
Square root of
Allegedly.
square root of E squared plus I equals Super Bowl. I think I just made that up. I'm, you know, Goodwill Hunting it over here. But yeah, no, Packers, I think they're the #1 team that has that, you know, formula, like I said. But then I also was kind of saying the Chiefs are secondary in that category. But, you know, I mean, it's simple, really, the game of football. I'll give a little, you know, Booger McFarland analysis right here. If you score more points than the other team, you're going to win the game, you know.
That's really what it breaks down to. If you
You know,
have more putters at the end of the day, you win.
Easy.
Well, not necessarily, because you can have more field goals too.
That's true.
It's-
But just overall points. I mean, another big thing I look for, you know, the two main factors as far as the game goes. I know I'm throwing a lot of factors out here. Polynomials, all this good stuff, square root, isosceles.
Austin, I thought you went to school for IT, not psychology. I'm confused.
Listen, I did, that's true, but I might have been able to have psychology as an or a minor, if you will, That was definitely an interest of mine. I think I took like 3 or 4 just random psych classes as my gen eds. But yeah, 2 things I look for in a game: who wins the turnovers and who has better time of possession.
Right. Yeah. Those 2 things are really time of possession and who has. Yeah.
What are we doing?
I was counting them down for you.
Okay. Yeah, but those are 2 things. I mean, if you come away positive in those categories, I'd say, again, Booger McFarland reference, you score more points to win the game. It's kind of simple knowledge, but
yeah,
it's kind of like plus minus in basketball, like the turnovers and stuff. But.
Yeah. So do you think that the Chiefs are going to be the team to beat out of the AFC then?
I do. We're gonna rock into our picks right now. We're gonna segue into that, or
no? I mean, we could continue on this little banter of the recap of the games from this divisional. So we'll go on to it was next game. What do you want to do?
I mean, the Titans. I got 2 things that I want to point out.
Okay.
I mean, they've been playing great ball as of late, right? They beat the Patriots. They beat the Ravens, #1 seed in the AFC. But if we're talking about one-dimensional, right? I mean, Derrick Henry has over 180 rush yards in the past 2 games.
The most in playoff history of any running back.
Tannehill had, he had 70-something against the Pats and 83 against the Ravens? Like, you're telling me they can throw for under 100 yards and still come out on top? That's just kind of
I mean, Tannehill had a rushing touchdown, too, So
Tannehill had a rushing, Henry had the passing.
True. So it's kind of like, reversal of roles almost.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think the biggest thing that with the Titans is their defense. And I've thought from the beginning of this season they have had one of the best defenses overall. And I think what really pushes them to that next level is their secondary. Their secondary is so good. They have a lot of great players in their secondary. And I think that's what took Lamar Jackson out of the game. And I think that's what took Brady out of the game, obviously, when he threw the last interception of the last play of the game against the Titans. Their secondary is what's going to separate them, especially with this next game against the Chiefs, as a contender or a pretender.
Right.
Now, I think if they can limit Pat Mahomes, it's their game to win. I mean, granted, they need Derrick Henry obviously to have 180 to 200 yards rushing, but obviously for him that's not hard. But I think the Titans are a legit team. I do take back saying that they were frauds the past 2 weeks, but
I mean, you ripped into them last week, pretty good.
I did rip into them. I was kind of pushed towards that way though. When someone tells me one thing, my gut tells me go against them because I'm very competitive. I want to win more than the other person, but. I do think that the Ravens were blindsided. I don't think that the bye week helped them. I actually think it hurt them. They looked flat. They really didn't even show up until the 4th quarter until they were trying to actually get back into the game. I thought the Titans just completely bum-rushed them the whole game.
If you will.
They what?
I said, did you say they looked flaccid, if you will?
A little flaccid.
But no, yeah, we were all watching over at Biggie's house, and there's like me, Cody, Morgan, Shane Lyon, Dan, like all these guys. And every time the Titans scored, we're in a group chat, and we just all sent Tighten Up to Ben. And he was getting so pissed off, man. I loved every second.
Actually, I haven't heard from him since they lost,
No, I think he's just been hibernating in his room,
He's hiding under a boulder like Patrick Star.
Probably. He's got a pillow over his head, blanket over his head, listening to some Wu-Tang, just crying himself to sleep every night. But yeah, so I mean, going back to the Titans, do you think Henry, do you think they'll be as successful as they were the past 2 weeks?
Do you think it's sustainable, basically?
Yeah, do you think Henry can rush for 180
I don't think
again
it's sustainable.
And pass for less than 100 yards, still win?
That's tough because Tannehill could ball out, but I don't see that at all. I think Henry has to play like he has been in order for the Titans to succeed. It's simple as that. They're a rushing team, and that's a dying breed in today's NFL. A team that rushes the ball more than anything with their actual running back, because the Ravens run the ball a lot with Lamar Jackson and whatnot. But I think with them, you need Henry to have 30 touches a game, 150 yards at least. He really needs to have a big impact. If you take him out, you're leaving the ball in Tannehill's hands. That's not a game that I would feel comfortable with, and I'm sure Mike Vrabel would say the same thing.
Right.
I have to put the ball in Ryan Tannehill's hand, who last year was sitting on the bench in Miami because he was injured. I'm not feeling too good about that. And especially against the Chiefs, they're going to have to come out swinging fast against the Chiefs because the Chiefs' offense is very electric.
No, I agree. I mean, as you saw last weekend, they can put a lot of points up in a hurry. It is funny and ironic you're wearing that hat of our old high school basketball team, because I was just going to throw a reference to our old coach. If you remember back in the day, if one team had a really good player, he'd say, "I'm not going to let that guy beat us, right? We're gonna double team him. If basketball,
we're going to let someone else beat us.
Let someone else, step up and try to be the hero." So yeah, I mean, I just feel like if you're the Chiefs, you got to load the box, take Henry out of the game and see what Tannehill can do. He's flashed some nice potential in the passing game. But I just think if you can take away that run game.
When you say that, it kind of scares me now. Because, now that I think about it, Andy Reid has been so bad in these situations as a coach. Especially with the Chiefs. He hasn't been able to get out of the AFC championship game ever.
Yeah.
And,
hey, Tyler.
And now...
We got a dance party in the background. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that.
Hey, Tom, how's the Colts doing? They're good, right? Shut up, how's the Raiders?
How's the Raiders doing? Exactly.
I mean, at what point do you think Mike Vrabel throws the game so he doesn't have to make good on his promise that he made if the Titans won the Super Bowl?
I was going to bring that up if you didn't.
I mean, it's a pretty hot topic in the streets right now,
Oh, it is? People are actually talking about it?
Oh, yeah, that's all over. I mean, I don't even think I saw the original interview.
So what's the actual bet? If they win the Super Bowl, what happens?
Well, I don't think it was a bet. I just think Coach Vrabel
spoke it into existence.
Might have spoke it into existence that if the Titans won the Super Bowl, he was going to dismember himself, if you will. It's kind of layman's terms
be
for
Goldmember.
Cutting his dick off. That's what he said. I don't know if we're waiting a little bit for our picks. That might mess up fate a little bit because I think the Illuminati is in play a little bit for these playoffs.
But think about it. If he does that, he could use the Lombardi Trophy as his next wiener, like Goldmember.
Wow. I mean,
you don't even think about that.
No, that's next level. I mean, what happens when he's got to give it back next year?
What? Wait, they give it back? This isn't the NHL.
They make replicas of them? I thought they engrave it into the trophy.
No, they give him a new trophy. The only league that does that is the NHL.
Oh shit! All right, well yeah, he can do what he wants with it.
If that were the case, then he could give it to the next team.
Right? Yeah, quite literally. I mean, I don't know how many people are gonna want to be kissing that trophy after it was attached, if you will, but.
Well, a lot of people in Nashville, a lot of girls in Nashville, I should say.
Oh man, I mean, you walk around the bars in Nashville with that trophy hanging between your legs. Hey,
the nice thing is you can make it any size.
How so?
Completely customizable.
The trophy?
No, not the trophy. What you're doing with the trophy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely got thrown off a little there. I'm not really quite sure where you went with that.
We're not pros in dismembering our dicks off our bodies and then making a gold peen.
No, like I said, I almost minored in psychology, definitely did not minor in castration. So that is not something that I was privy to of that knowledge of how to do. But yeah, I mean, that's probably with that being said, the only scenario I would be upset with is if the Niners won the Super Bowl. Obviously, Packers fan, want them to win first and foremost. My cousin works for the Chiefs, so I could root for them. Then the Titans.
Wait, could you get tickets for the Chiefs game if they go to the Super Bowl?
Nah, not Super Bowl. I mean, he gets 2 games to every home game. I almost went out for the Packers game, but I had gone out to Lambeau, to Packers Raiders, watched the Packers, stomp in the Raiders dicks. So
thanks for the invite.
Was out to TwitchCon. running a little low on the funds, so didn't make that trip out. But yeah, no,
That's no problem.
Super Bowl is a different story,
Yeah, I got you. So next game is Seahawks and 49ers. We'll save the Packers for last for you, Austin, because I know you love your Packers. I actually thought this game...
Seahawks 49ers, that wasn't a game.
Oh, my bad. Seahawks face the Packers. 49ers. Who the 49ers
Vikings.
face? Vikings. This is the game that should have been Tyler's shit-pumping game of the week. It was very boring. There really shouldn't even be much said about it. I think the biggest thing that should be said is this game showed how dominant the 49ers defense is, and it also showed how big of a fraud the Vikings were.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going into the game, I had a feeling and I kind of knew that the 49ers were the better team. I like Shanahan and that whole coaching staff. Tried to speak it into existence so the Vikings could win. Packers got the home
Not
win.
even God could speak that into existence, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, I don't know if you remember back in the day, chorus singing that song, True Colors. But, I mean, shit, homeboy showed his true colors in that game. That was pretty egregious. They did a good job, 49ers did, of shutting down the run game. Kind of what I think the Chiefs need to do this week against the Titans and Derrick Henry. Shutting down that run game. Try to force it.
All I know is that if I was Stephon Diggs, I would be pissed that I played for the Vikings with Kirk Cousins. That dude looks pissed all the time because he's such a good talent and he plays with such a shitty quarterback.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, they got a lot of players there. Diggs, Thielen, Rudolph, obviously Cook out of the backfield.
Your cousin Cook?
Yeah, you're related to Matt Schaub. I'm related to Dalvin Cook. So
that makes sense.
Allegedly, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. That was going to be an uphill battle from the start. They were kind of hanging around for a little bit. Some costly turnovers. I think they muffed a punt right at one point.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. 49ers, they got that number 1 seed for a reason. Beat the Saints earlier in the year, split the games against the Seahawks. They got some notable wins.
They destroyed the Packers.
They did. So I'm hoping this could be a little revenge game. Rodgers, if you heard him after last week getting the interview, he sipped his little scotch. He's going to be whipping some donuts with Danica Patrick around the stadium. Getting that adrenaline up. I think
that's not the only adrenaline he's getting up, or that's not the only way he's getting his adrenaline up, if you know what I mean.
I mean, shit, Danica, man, she makes it move, You're not talking about race cars, if you know what I mean.
Hey! She be whipping
shit.
Something else, if you know what I mean. Hey!
Oh, man. No luck returning to a euphemism podcast. Oh, shit. But no, Packers are Aaron Rodgers. He's a California kid. He's going home. I feel like they can match up a little bit better this time.
Coming
home. Won't text my family, but I'm coming home. That's a different story, but...
I hate my brother and I love my mother. I'm coming home.
Hey, that was all. Listen, Aaron Rodgers, good guy, great quarterback, family man. That was all Olivia Munn. Just want to throw that out there. She was causing a rift between the family. She's pretty hot, but like most hot girls, a little crazy. That's how it goes.
I mean, if you look at the hot to crazy ratio, they have the hotter they are, the crazier they are. You know that?
Yeah. It's like I don't know.
It's like
I don't know. I
Tommy
haven't looked at a
Omigato,
graph
Mr.
in a
Roboto.
while. Huh?
I said Tommy Omigato, Mr. Roboto. It's like all over the place.
Okay, shitty robot impersonation.
So next game, Seahawks Packers.
Yeah.
This time the Seahawks played actually, which I thought this game was pretty interesting.
I mean, man, it's a typical Packers game. They come out hot, they score quick, they get up, a decent lead, and then they just go stagnant. I thought with a new coach, LaFleur, and I'm used to this Mike McCarthy run offense, and they just get a little complacent, and they try to waste some time, waste the clock, run the clock down, run the ball a lot. But shit, if you got Aaron Rodgers under center, you gotta let him rip. And I think after a couple failed drives, you know, they had 1 or 2 3 and outs, and then LaFleur was like, all right, we're gonna let 12 do his thing. You know, third down, I think it was, dropped a nice dime off to Devontae Adams. You know, if he stays inbounds, that game's over right there. We don't have the Jimmy Graham controversy.
I was just about to bring that up.
Which is stupid, by the way. I mean, you know, as football fans, you know that the yellow line doesn't indicate or dictate where the actual first down is, right? That's just superimposed on your TV. That's not on the actual field. The actual line, which the judges, you know, the referees know where it is not necessarily in the exact spot as the yellow line. So, you know, people posted that picture of his head being down, you know, looking like it's short. That's in reference to the yellow line, not the actual sticks of where the first down was.
Let me do a little psychology on you, Austin. What if the roles were reversed? What if? Would you be saying the same thing, that the yellow line is superimposed, you know, and they use the actual field?
No way of knowing that. You know, like I said, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Working on with my therapist, not worrying about the past, going in the future.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased, so I'd be upset, you know, if it happened to the Packers like that, as opposed. But I mean, first and foremost, I'm a fan of the game. I love football. You know, I want it to be fair. I absolutely hate when it has to come down to plays like this, whether it's like, you know, a referee's judgment or a penalty. You know, the Saints kind of got screwed again this year at the end of the game, and I hate that because you got so many great athletes out there and coaches, masterminds, and they put so much time and hard work, dedication into this game, and to just have it come down, you know, to a referee call of a first down or a penalty or a no call for pass interference. It's tough to watch as a fan of the game, like I said, first and foremost. But, I mean, that's just what it's called, you know? So you're asking me as a Packers fan, right? And I know I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent, not letting you get in. I'll let you get your second real quick. But do I think the Dez Bryant catch back in the day was a catch? Absolutely. I believe he caught the ball, and then he reached out, made a football play over the goal line. But with that being said, again, Packers fan, by the rule that they tried to, you know, implicate and they harped on, and they're trying to, you know, make legitimate, by the rule, he did not establish, get 2 feet inbounds, make a football move, and then reach over the pylon before he, you know, carried the ball to the ground. So like I said, I thought it was a catch, you know, by football standards. By the rule, the NFL is trying to enforce that it wasn't a catch. So, like I said, a little tangent.
By the look of it, you know, it looked like the Seahawks kind of got, you know, screwed out of it. I was upset. You know, I was actually rooting for a good game. You know, I was hoping that they would stop them so Russell Wilson would have one more shot at you know, winning the game for the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. You know, so I thought that ending was kind of lame, almost, I guess you could say, just because, like, it had so much momentum, and they end the game on a ruling by the ref, and that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah,
it just
exactly.
it hinders the sport of football, which I don't like, and you know, it sucks. But I thought it was a good game, and I liked how the Seahawks battled back. You know, they showed grit, but you know, the Packers showed that they were truly the dominant team at the end of the day. You know, their defense showed how they are going to be the ones. You have to go through the Packers defense. And typically, through the years, it's been you have to go through the Packers offense.
Yeah. And
you have to score more points than Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But now it's their defense is legitimate. Like, the game against the 49ers and the Packers, I'm actually really excited to watch the defensive side of it. I'm curious to see who's going to lead in sacks, interceptions, forced fumbles, stuff like that, because defense wins championships at the end of the day. You know, because they're what's preventing the other team from scoring. And as Booger says, whoever scores the most wins. So,
precisely.
You know, it's going to be a good game.
No, I agree. It'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game. Yeah, I mean, I think their previous matchup, the Packers were still trying to, you know, figure out their identity. You know, Rodgers, LaFleur, they were still, you know, fresh to their relationship as a coach and quarterback duo. I mean, now I thought they were going to make out on the sidelines.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
My jeans flexed a little bit watching that one right there. I was like, geez.
So did Tom
Am I
Brady,
watching a
but he
rerun
kissed
of
his
Hitch
son.
right now? Rodgers goes in 80%. LaFleur finishes off the last 20. But, like I said, I look at teams that are hot right now. Packers, Chiefs, they're both coming in this game hot. Niners, I think they had that loss sprinkled in there right towards the end of the season.
Right.
So we'll see. And like you said, you never know how a bye week does. They kind of got matched up against the Vikings, that probably the weakest team, in the NFL.
Yeah,
playoffs
and you got to
left,
think
but
every week from here on
those
out,
are the
everybody's
biggest
0-0.
Yeah.
There's no winning records, no losing records. Everybody's 0-0.
Yep. No, I'm all here for it. I'm ready for it. It's gonna be a good game. See what happens.
So we'll get into our picks then for the AFC/NFC championship games.
Yes, sir.
Are we gonna cue it up to Hannah first, who's not here?
I think so. We got a nice little video from Hannah down in Key West already.
Jealous.
I think we got the video queued up. Good to go. Yep.
I'm here in Key West. We got a few big games this week. We got Packers, and we have the Titans and the Chiefs. I mean, I say just the Packers because we obviously know who I'm going to go with on that pick. It's going to be the Packers all the way. For the second game, I have a special guest here, my father.
Hey, all.
And he is going to be doing a coin flip game. So, heads is going to be Titans,
Wendy.
and tails is going to be Chiefs. So ready? Flip it. 1, 2, 3. Oh. What is it?
Tails.
Chiefs it is. That was my initial pick. Titans were looking a little good, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. We're here waiting for Austin and Tyler. It's beautiful. Look at this. See you guys soon. What's up, guys? I'm here in Key West.
I think we're good to go. All right, so that was Hannah's picks. Obviously, she had the Packers and the coin flip game. Chiefs. We got El Jefe. That's my pops down there in Key West with her. I mean, I love the guest. The guest appearance, but we got to work on that coin flip a little bit, pops. I can see a little bit windy down in Key West on the islands, but I need a little bit more vertical action on that. But,
It was a kind of shaky coin flip. It kind of brings me back to when what was it, the Lions versus Steelers, when they didn't know what the verdict was of the coin flip. Jerome Bettis saw one thing, the ref saw another.
Yeah. I mean, no, but we got we got the job done. That's all that matters. Clean catch, though, if you will.
Clean catch.
Definitely where I got my hands from.
Hey, sometimes it's not all about the throw, man. It's all about the finished result.
Exactly.
And El Jefe, you finished it.
Jefe, you got it. Shouts out, El Jefe, bro dude, if you will. Aha. So, those were Hannah's picks. You want to follow up with yours, and then I'll close up?
Yeah, popcorn me.
Popcorn Tyler's.
Popcorn me. First game, Titans at Chiefs. This is a tough one for you, boy. Your man, goddamn. I've gone against the Titans and they proved me wrong. I even went against the Chiefs and they proved me wrong. But I am gonna go with the Chiefs regardless. I'm gonna go against my better judgment in picking the Titans because they've screwed me over so many times. I think the Chiefs are a stronger team offensively, and I think they're gonna be a stronger team against the Titans defense. The only thing that scares me, like I said, is Andy Reid's play calling at the end. But I think this game is what's going to solidify him as one of the best coaches in the NFL history. Going to another Super Bowl, maybe winning it this time. I just think the star power on the Chiefs is just greater than the Titans. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a very evenly matched game score-wise. I just think the Chiefs are going to outscore them by a tick. Next game, Packers at 49ers. This game is another tough one for you, man. Goddamn.
Watch your mouth.
It's another tough game for you, man. Goddamn. I will be in Key West on Sunday with not one, not two, is it three?
Yes.
3 Packers fans, 2 of which are owners of the team. Do I go against?
Where's my best shirt?
Do I listen to the devil on my left shoulder say, Tyler, go against Austin and his dad? the Packers suck? Or do I be a good friend with the angel on my other shoulder saying, do the right thing, pick the Packers? They have AC Weezy's Super Bowl contending theory against the best teams in history. Experience. What was the other one? Experience and the it factor.
The it factor, yep.
Yes. I'm gonna ride with the Packers. I'm gonna ride with the Packers. I think they have the experience. I think they have the it power. Plus, I'm gonna be with all my Packer fans.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be with my best friend in Key West.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna take shots of J-Mo, shots of Jack, shots of tequila, shots of whatever.
More tequila, more beer, more whiskey.
Yes. Yes. Go Pack, go. Popcorn, awesome.
I love it. Thank you. Everyone give Tyler a round of applause. He made the correct choice. I know last week, you kind of tried to go opposite of my picks just for, whatever record purposes, shits and gigs. Unfortunately, I was courteous this week. I'll let you go first. But my picks have nothing to do with who I want or who I think is going to win the game.
Right.
And you're asking, what are you talking about, Austin? Like, then what are you going to go based off of? See this? No, that's not Hove. That's not Rockefellers. That's Illuminati's. Hear me out. NFL 100th season, which is historic. They've been blowing it up all over. They got the 100th season on their jerseys, right? Packers, most historic franchise in the NFL. Super Bowl
One of the
one.
most winningest?
Who played in the Super Bowl one? Who played in the first Super Bowl ever?
The Packers.
Versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, does anybody here watch TV? Tyler, do you watch TV?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you see State Farm commercials?
Yes.
Do you know which two quarterbacks are on those State Farm commercials?
Whoa.
Aaron
Mahomes
Rodgers
and Aaron Rodgers.
Patrick Mahomes, Packers, Chiefs, 100th season, first Super Bowl. Look, I just blew your fucking mind. Ha ha. Listen, like I said, I can't even make picks based off my judgment. My E square root of E squared plus I minus. Yeah, but shit, this is just fate, man. This is fate, and I'm all here for it. Because like I said, the result, the first Super Bowl, Packers caught a dub, first ever. Went on to win the first three, eating some dubs, if you will. Might as well throw it in there. They got the most world championships of all time, 13. Before they changed it to Super Bowls. Anyways, like I said, T, my opinion, my philosophy does not matter. This is predetermined. This is fate. I can't speak something into existence that's just meant to be, bud. I can't do it. It's already a thing.
I mean, I need visual, on my head when you were explaining that. My head literally exploded. My brain is mush inside my cranium right now.
Right? That's a lot of facts
I didn't
coming
even
your way
think
real
about that.
fast.
I didn't even think about that. It was great. That was great. So basically, the
Heard
No
it here
Look podcast, for the first week ever, we're on the same page in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We'll be in the same place on the same page room for the same teams. I love it.
I love it.
That's what we call family. That's why we're number one.
That's
You got
what
the
we
best
call
logo
family.
and the best looking guys / girl.
Cohesion, right? That's what you need. Good looking people, good looking logo, and some good cohesion and cohesiveness between people that are on the same podcast.
And bonding time.
And bonding time.
What other podcast goes to the same place on
Copious
vacation?
amounts of alcohol.
A lot of it.
Oh, shit, I'm excited. Yeah, so that's our picks. Well, shit, we're all riding together. Packers, Chiefs, all three of us.
Ride or die, baby.
So, oh man, I love it. Like I said, you heard it here first. I just debunked the NFL being rigged. Illuminati is real. I mean, you heard it here first. No Look Podcast, The Same Games TV, your boy Yo Soy AC Weezy. Ha ha.
And if we both die, it's your fault, AC.
Oh! What? I'm
saying.
gonna get that text. Illuminati, where you at? Don't go. Don't
Where
go
your ass
nowhere.
at?
You see those memes where it's like
They
type
says
something
stay right
in.
there.
Yeah. Illuminati, don't go anywhere. Oh fuck, yeah. Well, confirmed. They're probably gonna pull this tape from the internet. I mean, I don't even know. Are we still live right now? Who knows?
They probably cut transmissions from Twitch to us.
Did they
a long time ago.
preemptively mute the rest of this stream? Is my word moving, chat? I need to know.
Yeah, but
What the?
there was some other big news in the NFL. AC, do you
Yeah.
want to get into that? The biggest news surrounding the NFL: Luke Kuechly retiring at the age of 28.
Yeah.
Great move on his part, I think, for the health of his life. But it's sad seeing someone so talented retire so early. Kind of like Calvin Johnson, Gronk.
Mhm.
You name it.
Barry
There's been a
Sanders.
bunch of them. Who?
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Bo Jackson's.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a plethora of people. I'm back and forth on this topic. I applaud people that put their health first, and they're saying, yes, if I keep up playing this physical game at this rate, I might not be able to enjoy physical activities with my friend or my children for the rest of my life. My overall health may be impacted. I talk about CTE a lot, but at the same time, my beef with that is a lot of guys, Ray Lewis, I feel like he's the first one that comes to mind. There's guys that like, yo, take my body, take my mind. I'm laying it all on the line, for my team, for my teammates, family. And sometimes, that's what I love in a player. And they're like, I don't care what happens to my mind, my body. I'm going out every day, every Sunday I'm going to war with my family. And I'm just putting my body out there no matter what, the cost, no matter what happens.
So if
I
you're
see
saying
both
that,
sides
then
of
let me
it.
put it this way: if a trainer came up to you and you're in the NFL, you're same player as Luke Kuechly,
Yeah.
one of the best linebackers,
Yep.
and he goes, listen, if you keep playing, you might not be able to remember your children's name, or if you keep playing, you're not going to be able to walk. There's a possibility of that. You're going to continue to play.
I mean, is it like a finite prediction? You know what I'm saying? Like if you play like another
Luke
season.
Kuechly, he's a pretty finite. It's pretty finite for him. The guy's had over 10 concussions in the NFL. I mean, this
Right.
guy's brain is probably turning gray as we speak. So
Yeah. No, I mean, next time you try to tackle Derrick Henry, his brain will probably turn into scrambled eggs. But I mean, if it was like someone came up to me and said, "Hey, if you play one more season, you're not going to be able to walk for the rest of your life." Okay, no. But it's like 50-50 chance. I mean, you love the game. You see Tom Brady. He's out there 40+. Drew Brees, 40+, putting their bodies on the line. They're not no young spring chickens anymore, if you will. But they're still out there putting in the work, taking that risk because they just love the game. I mean, Beast Mode just came back. He stepped away. He's like, shit, man. Retirement's cool, but it ain't football. It ain't the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a void in my life that can't be filled. Besides running people over and scoring touchdowns from the 1 yard line. So, I don't know. Like I said, I see both sides of it. Definitely hats off to someone, for making that move. And, because he's going to be kept up at least for the next, few months, probably next year. Like, shit, was that the right choice? Was it not?
Well, I mean, luckily for him, he's only 28. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
he's 32 or something. So, worst case scenario, he takes a year off, he wants to come back and thinks he can come back and is granted to come back from the doctors. He'll only be 29, and most linebackers, they're out there until they're 35. So it's not like he has time, I would say.
Yeah.
So. But it's still pretty big news, especially, beginning of the season, Andrew Luck retired. Now you got Luke Kuechly retiring. There's a lot of these guys that are 24, to 30 that are retiring super early that have a lot of potential still left, a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
And it's just, goes to show you how tough of a game football is. The other thing that happened, Browns finally hired a coach. They were one of the last teams that hired a coach. Offensive coordinator for the Vikings, Kevin Stefanski. I didn't understand this one. Did you?
Who did they hire again?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, Browns gonna Browns, dude. I mean, what else can I say?
If I'm OBJ or Jarvis or Baker or one of their premier players, I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do we keep hiring dudes that don't they just don't have any potential, or they just haven't had the experience of big time games. You know, you had Hugh Jackson for 5 years. It seems like.
Yeah.
Who'd they have last year? I don't even. Freddie Kitchens, offensive coordinator for the Lions.
Yeah.
What did the Lions ever do? You know, it's just like, when are they gonna go after a big name coach? I think they should have went after McCarthy. He would have been a way better fit.
Yeah, I mean, offensive-minded coach with a more offensive-oriented team. I thought that would have been a pretty good fit. I don't know, man. I mean, you talk about like auras, like feng shui. I mean, shit. Maybe they got some plants and some chairs out of place in that the office over there. But I don't know.
They did replace the mascot dog, so.
It's just like that's one of those teams, man. It's gonna take an earthquake and to wipe off the rest of the world, the world besides Cleveland, and for them to win a Super Bowl because they're just
it just doesn't make sense to me because you look at the Vikings offense, they aren't that good.
No, I don't know. That was one of those like jump the gun because you think he's not going to be there, as opposed to taking your time, kind of doing some research on maybe a better option.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know who else was out there. I think you and I both agreed that maybe college coaches jumping from NCAA to the NFL isn't the best idea. So as far as other coordinators or free agent coaches, I don't really know what else was out there. But
yeah,
there's got to be something better than that.
Yeah, I would rather go after the Chiefs or high-powered offensive coordinator than the Vikings.
Yeah.
This guy can't even win with Kirk Cousins, who's supposedly one of the best quarterbacks in the league, best maybe mediocre quarterback, but he has all these offensive weapons and yet can't get it done. I don't know. Browns are gonna Browns, like you said. So let's jump to some college. Big game, national championship. This past weekend. Or this past Monday, LSU beat Clemson. It was a very good game. Two high-powered offenses going back and forth. A lot of big plays happened. A lot of guys that are jumping into the NFL draft played. Joe Burrow passed the all-time leading touchdown throws in the season. He's definitely going to be number 1 overall pick now.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the game? Did you watch it? You liked it?
All I gotta say is, Big Dick Joe, baby. He laid it out all on the field. Not meant to be as a joke, ironically, but that was a great game. Back and forth, gave Trevor Lawrence his first collegiate loss of his career. But no, I think it lived up to the hype. Maybe it wasn't like a last second touchdown overtime thriller.
Right.
But overall, two great teams. They both came to play, and.
The LSU had the home field advantage anyways. Playing in New Orleans, the whole stadium was packed with LSU fans. Bourbon Street there was people flying from the rafters.
Yeah, no, like
Beads
you said,
thrown.
You know how it gets down there in Bourbon Street. But no, I just thought it was funny, so I had my Monday night gaming stream, so I only caught the last quarter of it. But just all this, as good as the game was, the after, the post-game antics, you got Odell running around the field under some kind of influence. I won't speculate, but you got a little camera trippage.
Maybe he was drinking because he found out who his next head coach was.
But he's out there. He's handing out players. I need to just adjust it a little bit. He's handing out money to players. He's in the locker room. He smacked a cop's butt. Because they were trying to tell the players they can't smoke cigars. Can we change the angle down a little bit, if that's possible? That's good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Sorry, we had someone 2 left feet come in here, knocked over the webcam, but we're good now. Back in action. But yeah, that was funny. Iconic picture for Joe Burrow, just sitting there with the cigar.
The biggest thing for me that I was so happy about with LSU winning it wasn't the players, it wasn't Odell, it wasn't LSU winning, it was Coach O winning his first national title and putting a staple of why he's one of the best coaches out there, one of those guys that is a player's coach. He rides or dies for his team. Dude will shotgun 2 Red Bulls in front of you and say, "Go Tigers," and let's go, and their defense showed out, their offense showed out. They all showed out. Crawfish are going to be limited in Louisiana this upcoming week. He's going to be eating 15 pounds a day at least. And, I'm just happy that a coach like that won.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for the disparity because LSU hasn't won in a while. They haven't won a championship in a while. So it's good to see them back on top.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kind of like NFL with the Patriots. It's been Alabama this, year in, year out. So it's good to see some new faces in there. Yeah, like I said, overall, great battle. Two consummate programs, as far as college football goes. You're kind of still looking at the SEC, though, now with being the powerhouse.
They're strong. I as a whole, I will still think that the Big Ten is the strongest conference in football. But, SEC definitely has at least always two of the best teams in college football.
Yeah.
And that's LSU and Alabama, for sure.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. I agree. Obviously NFL is a little bit more important than the college, but...
True. And then we'll be gearing up for the draft. Hopefully our teams pick some good players, but we got to get to the Super Bowl first, so that's the biggest thing.
Yes, sir. And like I said, it's already spoke into existence, if you will, from...
Wait, so does that mean that technically that game that your picks were both speaking into existence games?
You could say that, but at the same time, not really, because like I said, you can't speak something into existence that was pre-written. You could go back 3,000...
You can't speak what was already spoke.
3,000 BC, they got the caveman drawings. There's a Kansas City Chiefs helmet. There's a Packers helmet with the 100th season. If we're talking about the Super Bowl,
There's a chief running around eating cheese. That's what's going around.
There's a what?
A chief running around with eating some cheese.
Hell no.
I don't know. What the fuck is a Packer? Do they have
he might have ate the cheese, but then he got some gastro problems and it made him sick, and then he died, and then the cheese seeps out of his mouth, and it's like cheese on top. The Packers, cheese heads. Good.
That has to probably be the stupidest mascot ever. A Packer.
Listen, it's the Acme Packing Company back in the day, Curly Lambeau. I could go into it all day about this. Like I said.
Yeah, because you're an owner. We get it. Sick brag.
Owner. Not even bragging at this point anymore. Stream knows it. Chat knows it. They understand. It's just speaking facts, man. But with that being said, I think, is it time for some winners?
Oh, yeah. Let's get into some Wheezy's weekly winners.
Ha it's your boy Yo Sorry to see Wheezy coming back for another installation of Wheezy's weekly winners. Perfect segue. My first weekly winner, I got the NFL, right?
Oh shit!
Not because it's playoffs, not because it's that time of year, not because it's the 100th season, as I aforementioned.
Illuminati.
Not just that, Tyler. We were talking about Super Bowl I previously. 53 years ago to today, Super Bowl I was played. Packers beat the Chiefs. A callback, a Chekhov's gun, if you will, for all my literature fans out there. Like I said, aforementioned, talking about the Illuminatis, NFL being rigged, Packers,
people.
Historic franchise, Super Bowl I. So anyways, just because of all that going on right now, I got the NFL coming in as my number one weekly winner.
Numero uno.
S weekly winner. I'm not sure how to say that in Espanol. My apologies. Lo siento. I do know how to say sorry. But number two, I got big. You're a big fan of this person, PFT commenter, which I'm sure you saw. One of the main Barstool blogger characters. He's trying out for the DC Defenders of the XFL. Did you see that?
I did.
Hey, homeboy's got a leg on him too. I seen him out there. He's hitting.
Hey,
like 40
is that PFT commenter or Adam Vinatieri? You tell me.
Shit. That's TBD, to be decided. Because out there.
Actually, did you see? Speaking of XFL kickers, did you see who else was partaking in the XFL kickoff?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, Mr. Ocho Cinco. Cigar man, aficionado, connoisseur himself. So dude, like the XFL previously did not catch my interest, But
Right.
now the kicking position might be the most coveted position in the league, right? I mean, you got
Kicking matters.
You got Cardell Jones and Connor Cook at the quarterback position. But shit, you got PFT commenter
Cares about that?
and Chad Ochocinco out there. I think I would rather just see them go
Just get the kickers out there.
30, 40, 50, just do a kickers duel.
Randomize where the ball sits at the hash mark.
PFT versus
I mean,
Pepe. That'd be great.
Here's the big question, because me and Austin have history. I was his holder, no big deal. He was the kicker, JV. We went. Our record was great. Like, we must have went at least 25 and 5. I don't even think you missed a single kick that year. But what I'm saying is, is there an open tryout for where you could try out for an XFL team, and I'll be your holder?
I mean, if there
It's a package deal.
if there is, I would of course need you to be my holder. I wouldn't want you. I would need you. The chemistry.
I got the softest hands this side of the Mississippi, baby.
I mean, I know that more ways than one. But shit, man. Like T was saying, 25 for 25 extra points. Your boy Yo Soy hit a 42-yarder in JV. I mean, that's just disrespectful. We're up like 42-0 on a team. Coach was like, "Yo, Austin, get out there from the left hash, bang, dead center, uprights."
Straight down the middle.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that. See if we can get a little tryout action is, because my body.
Send the tape.
My body may be deteriorating, my shoulder, my hip, but I think I still got at least 3.5 seasons going out there and kicking some field goals.
Even though he's canceled, as R. Kelly would say, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
My body's telling me yes. All right, number 3, my weekly winners. Zion Williamson. His name's kind of floating around again. It's been confirmed, I think, that his return will be this upcoming Wednesday, week from today, January 22nd. What do you expect from him coming back?
Dunks. That's about it.
A whole lot of dunks. Hey, man,
a lot of missed shots, obviously, but hopefully some dunks.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. He's kind of like the type of guy where he's more of an athlete as opposed to a basketball player. And I know you guys are like, what? Like, aren't they the same thing? Aren't they kind of synonymous? For me, an athlete is someone like Zion. I feel like he could play almost any professional sport. Whereas a basketball player, they're a little more fundamental. They're dribbler, shooter. They've kind of perfected, the different facets of the game, if you will. Whereas Zion can go out and he's just naturally gifted. So for someone who definitely depends on his athleticism, I hope he stays healthy. I hope he comes back and puts on a show, helps out the Pelicans a little bit.
I mean, him and Lonzo are going to be fun to watch together.
Oh,
a lot of
for sure.
alley-oops being thrown.
And Ingram's coming to his own this year.
What's that?
I said Ingram's coming to his own this year.
Oh, yeah.
MIP,
Yep.
most improved player in my opinion. MIP, IMO, throwing some acronyms your way.
Oh, snap. Yeah, I mean, I think the Pelicans are going to be a fun little team to watch. Not going to make the playoffs, obviously, but, still going to be fun.
Yeah, I dig it. Pelicans, Suns, another young team. Booker, Oubre down there. DeAndre Ayton, right?
Oh, shit. I forgot about DeAndre
Do
Ayton.
they still have Josh Jackson? I'm not even sure, but a lot of interesting names.
A lot of those guys I feel like a lot of those guys that are big names out of college get lost in the NBA all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, he was like a I
think it was the 5th pick or something like that. He was a high pick.
Yeah, he did decent. He's another guy, more of an athlete than a basketball player. Lengthy guy, ran the court well. But we won't get into that whole conversation just right now. Number 4 on my weekly winners, I have Twitch chat, which hey, kind of in reference to what we're doing now, which kind of makes sense. But also, my reasoning behind it is, are you familiar with the phrase "Okay, Boomer"? You heard that before? I think it originated in Twitch chat, at least. It's kind of a thing that Gen Z calls millennials, which is making fun of us by calling us boomers, aka baby boomers. So they're calling us a different generation, and it's all out of control. But anyways, the phrase got brought up in the Supreme Court today or yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Chief Justice John Roberts uttered that phrase. So I mean, you got Donald Trump in office, which, like I said, we're not a political podcast. I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Stay in your lane, baby.
Donald Trump in office, and you got Twitch chat references being thrown around in the Supreme Court. What a time to be alive, baby. You know.
What a time.
What a time. Hopefully we get that second mixtape, Future and Drizzy. But
hey.
You ready for my my number 5? Last but
Numero
not least.
cinco.
My last but not least, maybe the most important weekly winner thus far. I have your boy Yo Soy, AC Weezy, the man, goddamn T Hayes. We have us at our weekly winners, the number 5 spot. Saturday, we're headed down. We're gonna meet up with Hannah, my pops down there. Got some fam. We're going to Key West, baby. Tequila and tan lines all summer. Nah, I mean for your boy Yo Soy, Team Pale Skin. It's probably gonna be sangria and sunburns. But it's gonna have a good
time. Should I bring the 100 SPF or the 50?
No, I'm just gonna be wearing a suit the whole time. You know, maybe one of those astronaut sleeping bags, just so every inch of my body is covered. But no, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be down there, mixing it up a little bit, having fun. Like you said, we're gonna tune into the championship games, which I mean, I'd like to say we get some content for. We'll see what the drink counter is at by the time those games kick off. I know the Packers, I think, are on at 8. But
Packers are the last game, so hopefully we make it to the end.
Man, we're gonna be on island time, so.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we also got the Conor McGregor Cowboy fight this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Conor's been doing a lot of media tours. Very excited. I know we're not huge into UFC, but when Conor McGregor gets brought up, we gotta talk about the boy. I think it's gonna be I'm not gonna say a shit pumping because I retired the phrase, but I do think it's gonna be a slaughter. I think Conor's refocused, revamped. He's gonna come out, show what all the training he's done. He looks good. He's jacked as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see that fight because Cowboy Cerrone, he's one of the go-to guys in UFC. He's been a staple of UFC. So I think this will put Conor back on the map, hopefully leading up to another, maybe Diaz McGregor.
Hey, could be. Not a huge UFC guy, but I do enjoy definitely the main guys, the big names. Conor McGregor, I thought he was cool when he first came on the scene. This new crazy guy, wild energy, kind of took over the UFC world, and we had some fun with it. I kind of thought the whole Floyd Mayweather beef, the fight, kind of maybe ruined his image for me a little bit. But I'm still a fan of him at the end of the day. Like you said.
Speaking of that, bro, he said that he would be willing to fight Manny Pacquiao now.
Yeah,
it's just when is enough enough? Stay in your lane. Boxing, with the fight between you and Floyd was great for the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao is not even close to in his prime. He's way out of his prime. And you're gonna fight some old ass dude in a boxing ring when you're supposed to be in an octagon. Let's be real.
I mean, that's just they call that check chasing. He's just trying to get some money.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's exactly it.
It was kind of the only thing I'll say for the Mayweather-McGregor fight was cool because you had never, it was the first of its kind. You never seen anything like that before. But as you just mentioned, as far as how he's looking, his physical shape, I saw this quote on Instagram where he was talking about how LeBron inspired him. LeBron spent millions of dollars per year on his health and working out, where he was spending it on a Rolex or a new car or something. So he kind of manifested that into his own life, picked up some of LeBron's habits, and he looks good right now. Looks good to go. Cowboy said that he's not going to take him to the ground. He wants to go blow for blow with him. He wants to stand up. So if that's the case, that should be interesting to see if he can.
I don't know. Cowboy's
down.
one of those guys that you just can't count out.
Yeah. Can't
count out Cowboy Cerrone. It's going to be a good fight. I'm very excited that I'll be watching it. Probably hammered out of my brains in Key West.
Yeah.
I think Conor's going to win because he's the popular pick. But what I'm going to say is don't count Cowboy out. But I think it's going to be, like you said, blow for blow. Probably going to be a knockout. Head kick, by Conor, probably.
Yeah. I mean, shit, dude. If it was a knockout, we're down in Key West. sipping on some cocktails, we might start a riot or something, because that'll just be insane games TV. That's all I got. You got anything else?
That's all I got for this week's rendition of the No Look podcast as well.
Yes, sir.
Next week, I don't know. We probably won't be able to film on Wednesday because you won't be back in New York. So
No, I won't be back until like midnight Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Well,
Because I know I'm supposed to.
What I want to do, I want to take enough footage where we could, have like a recap, like the No Look podcast, family trip to Key West,
Yep.
and maybe just do that as our show next week. Maybe make some picks for the Super Bowl, even though we have a whole week, or recap the games, whatever the case may be. Raw footage of Key West, whatever. We'll see what we can do for the fans out there for the No Look podcast. But yeah, it's gonna be litty.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm usually slated for the Monday night gaming special, so I don't know if we wanted to maybe do something in that time slot, or
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
you said, we'll have to
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all we
But
got.
next up, we got Dave at 8 for the Weekend Wednesday playing Link's Awakening. Make sure you check him out. He's playing it on the Switch. Shout out to Dave and his cult. But yeah, other than that, we'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. Maybe
sir.
with I think Austin might be a different skin color when we come back. So
Red.
if you don't recognize
Very,
him.
very red. All
Yeah,
right.
but that's all I got, baby. Love
Until
you.
next time. Love you.